Hi, and welcome to the Cult of
Crafting.
Excuse me. Today I'll show you 4 ways of making smoke effects for your tabletop wargames. I've seen different smoke effects over the years, but this is the first time I'm making them myself, so I want to try a few different methods and find out what works the best so you don't have to. I'll do a summary of my findings at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. To make the smoke I want to try out 2 different materials, cotton and teddy bear stuffing. 5 or 6 inches seem like a good height for a smoke column in games of Warhammer 40,000. But the clumps of smoke won't stand on their own, so I'll have to find a way to prop them up, and we also need to add some weight to them so they'll stay put and won't fall over. For that we are gonna use some wooden skewers, gardening wire, a couple of LED tea candles, and some hot glue. I'll start by cutting a couple of the wooden skewers into lengths of 5 or 6 inches. Instead of making bases out of MDF or cardboard, I'll take the lazy approach and see if I can't make some out of hot glue. It works, but I'd like them to be a little heavier, so I'll add some more glue and then I'll throw some dirt on the bases to give them some weight and in case the base ends up being visible. If I were to do this again, I'd add the initial layer of hot glue over some washers or some coins or something to give it a little weight. Obviously I can't put a stick through the middle of the tea light, so I'll use garden wire instead and glue that to the sides of the tea light. I won't add dirt to these because I'll try to do what I can to cover the tea lights completely, and I think they'll have enough weight on their own. Now it's time to apply the smoke to the bases. I'd like to hide the supporting stick, so I'll scrunch up the stuffing a little to make it a bit denser. I'll add small clumps at the bottom and make them bigger towards the top. I add a bead of glue here and there to keep the stuffing in place. That works. That actually looks pretty good already. Honestly, you could stop here and that would look perfectly fine on the battlefield. Let's do the same thing with the cotton. You can use these for a variety of purposes. I plan on making some house rules for games of Warhammer 40,000 and placing them on the battlefield where vehicles have been destroyed, because I've always thought it was a bit weird that they just disappear from the battlefield. You could also use them simply as a piece of terrain to obscure line of sight. Let me know in the comments if you have any other suggestions of what to use them for. For the tea light, I kinda have to build the smoke up around the wire in smaller steps. It's immediately clear that this takes a lot more effort. The only benefit of the wires is that you can bend them in any way you want to. Also, try not to burn your fingers. As always, thanks to all my friendly patrons who help me cover the cost of making these videos. I've begun setting up a Discord server that's open for anyone to join, with some added benefits for patrons. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to join and talk about the things you're making. So far so good? Let's give them some paint. The easy way is to just spray them from above with a black paint. Just make sure you don't cover them completely, you want to keep some of the color variation. I went a little overboard here. Let's try adding some fiery colors. I'll start by airbrushing a yellow from below. Then adding some orange and red from above and finishing with the black, making sure that I don't cover up the previous step with each new color. And now let's take a look at the final result. In summary, I found that using wooden skewers is a lot easier than using garden wire, and even though cotton improves a lot with some paint, I think teddy bear stuffing is a better material. It looks more realistic both painted and unpainted, it's easier to work with, it lets a little more light shine through if you want to use tea lights, but even the small one without the tea light looks great, and you could easily make 10 of those in an hour or two.
That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.